And we are live, no longer talking about Big Brother on CBS, but this is Growlersations, episode 8, I believe. We are on episode 8, pretty exciting. I've got my man Corey Pond here, one of my old friends, but also the man behind Common Table. And then, of course, you know Jeff. I'm Sam Wen. Today we are drinking Brain Dead Honey Lager. Anton, that one's for you right up there up front. We're drinking Brain Dead Honey Lager, and second we will be drinking P-Wing. P-Wing is a wet hop double IPA that is sure to slow us down on the drinking because that one's got a little bit of booze to it. But that's enough talking about that. We're here drinking some beer, so let's cheers. We got beer, we're drinking it. Let's make it happen.
Cheers.
Yeah. So, once again, we are live on Central Track, and we are here hanging out, enjoying the beautiful weather that we had on our freak fall afternoon here after all that rain. Happy to see it. Corey, you started Common Table six years ago?
7.5.
7.5, excuse me.
2010.
Like I said, there's no preparation for this,
That's right.
so I don't know. 2010, so 7.5 years old. Tell us. What led to the Common Table getting opened up?
I'm not really sure.
Yeah? All right.
Just kidding. No, Jeff and I actually became friends from my previous work career. His wife, Alicia, who's probably watching right now.
With bated breath.
We used to work together. And Jeff knew more about beer than I did, probably still does, but I liked it, and I was interested in it, wanted to start a beer place, so he and I basically just went and drank beer together about 3 or 4 nights a week for probably close to a year, I'd say.
Yeah.
Took a trip to Portland and did some really cool stuff up there, and then I started putting together the business plan and looking for a space. And was not looking in Uptown, still wouldn't. But that's where we ended up because the building itself had such character. But to do it here, we had to do a restaurant, which I knew nothing about, and then proved that I knew nothing about it after we opened, because it took us a while to get the food right. And then kind of the rest is history. So Jeff helped me open the Common Table in June of 2010. And it's been a lot of fun.
I remember I was living in Austin during that time, and it's funny thinking back about you opening up this place without us being friends because we're such good friends now. But definitely was the case. I remember when I was in Austin, I was studying for the Certified Cicerone exam, which is something that Jeff and I both did together. We are both proud failures of the Master Cicerone exam.
Twice.
The 2-time.
Double failure.
But back in the day, there was only a couple Cicerones in the state of Texas. So when I was down in Austin, I was the youngest one. I was the second Cicerone in the state, and then you, I think, passed like the exam after that. That was up north. So I knew about you from people being like, oh, I think it was actually Chad Montgomery who was always trying to tell us that we should hang out at some point because we'd get along just fine. Don't tell Chad that he was right. So I hope he knows not watching.
Yeah, he knew.
But Common Table was one of those places that I had heard great things about while living in Austin and never and hadn't had a chance to check it out. And then when I moved to Dallas, getting ready to be 6 years ago, moved back to Dallas. This was, one of the first places I came and hung out and made some new friends. All my homies went and hung out at Inwood Tavern, so I told them to fuck off, and I came here and hung out with you and all your weird regulars. And now they all come to my birthday party.
I don't remember exactly when I met you, but I do remember the used to, and still, in fact, they were here last week when all the saucer GMs come in town. They all seem to end up here late night after a dinner full of libations, typically. But I've gotten to know a bunch of those guys over the years. I can't remember if I met you in here or we met somewhere else.
You know, I don't remember either. But I do remember those things. Keith Schlabs and the Ado clan over at Ado Management. They when they bring all the meeting of the GMs from around the country, they always take them around. When we first opened, they came to Brain Dead for the first couple meetings. That was and screwed with me by the lights not being dimmable. My old man is very hands-on with regards to lighting and sound volumes. And they all knew that it would drive me crazy that they were telling me that my lights were too bright because the dimmers hadn't been installed yet.
Definitely too bright.
Yeah. You don't want to eat in a restaurant with no dimmers, but we're
Well, I
dope.
like your lights now. I think they look really nice.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We hung an upside-down Christmas tree up there to complement the lights. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, we got.
I'm going there
We got a fully decorated
couple of hours.
upside-down Christmas.
I'll check it out. Yeah.
What are you doing up there?
I'm going there before I go to the Do 214 holiday party,
Ooh, nice.
featuring some bands
Featuring some bands.
that I can't remember.
Oh,
Sam
okay.
Lau is one of
I
them.
was like, secret bands.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Really
Secret
good
band.
band.
Yeah, the
Maybe
Roots. The
there's-
Roots are playing
that's
at
right.
Do 214.
And maybe Led Zeppelin. But
Robert
we're not
Plant's
supposed to
getting
talk
the old
about
gang
that.
back
Yeah,
together.
That's right. Not John Bonham, though. He's not.
You know, I know I
Ineligible.
know I worked here, but I always thought that no bias common table was like, yeah, I know we're in Uptown, but it doesn't seem like Uptown when you're chilling here. You know, you like look around. It seems like an Austin vibe or like some other kind of feeling, not like a McKinney. You know, let's ride a bull kind of thing. You know.
Well, and your patio's got a lot of really good natural shade out there with the trees. That's always been something that I've appreciated about what you got. And one of my favorite stories was I was here on the common table, the big table out there, and I showed up, and I think I had pre-partied a little bit before brunch at the house. And I came in and it was a busy brunch.
Before brunch?
It was
You
brunch.
pre-partied?
Well, you know, with
Okay.
with a Colorado
Not judging.
Colorado kind of pre-party, and and I went up to the table and I was like, "Is the common table still the common table on the weekends?" And she was like, "Yeah." So I went and just sat down. It was like, "Oh,
I
cool."
remember.
You know, and she was like, "You can't sit here." And I was like, "But you told me the common table was the common table."
Remember that guy? Remember the
I just
second you
was
said it.
watching the synapses trying to buy her and her having no idea what I was talking about. So
Yeah, brunch is a different animal.
it's good. I came up here for brunch a couple weeks ago. My buddy Ken Welker, who with 13th Floor Music, who does the music bookings. We
Ken
came
is
up
a
here
brunch
with
regular. He's
came up here
quite a
with
bit.
Brian Bethel actually and sat on the patio. Yeah. So you
my kid.
opened up.
Ken?
Yeah.
That's Ken.
Hey, what's up, bro? What's up, bro?
He does have
He's
that
got like
growl.
the Brian Petrie of it. Hey, yo.
He pushes it out.
I wish my voice was like that.
Is
Sweet.
Brian Petrie still your rep? Sad I miss him. I'll have our new rep, but
Best in the business, old Brian.
he's awesome. You're out there, Brian. I know you're not. I miss you.
So you opened up Frisco just
We
last
did
week.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks.
You're closer than how old we were.
Hey, like I said, no preparation for Growlersations.
Yeah, so it opened up 2 weeks ago.
It adds
First week
character to
was
be wrong.
First week was wow.
Oh,
Damn it!
ooh, almost. One down. Not bad, fellas.
We're open for lunch or dinner only the first week. Then we opened for lunch. The second week we did our first brunch last weekend. It's been great. The place is, as I've described it, as kind of a the common table through a Frisco filter. So this building we're in here was built in 1939, and the floor's uneven, and everything breaks all the time. We literally had to close for 5 days and dig a tunnel from the alley underneath the slab to replace all the plumbing right after Thanksgiving.
Congratulations.
So, thank you very
Happy-
much.
happy
Yeah,
holidays.
it's great. It's like super exciting to pay that bill, which costs about as much as a car. So out there, among the many things I'm excited about is that everything is under warranty. So we don't have to pay for a lot of repairs.
Put that down, warranty.
So what is the Star? It's a practice facility to like show games on
It's
game
the
day?
Dallas Cowboys homage to the Dallas Cowboys, best I can tell. It's a retail and commercial development. It's huge. I guess it's like about 4 to 6 blocks, and then plus the practice facility for the Cowboys.
And that's in the common table?
Yeah, the Cowboys practice inside the common table.
It's a big space.
But just
They got a lot of space out there.
only half of the summer training camps are at the common table, and the other half are in California.
Right.
So, and anyway, there's probably, I should know this, but I think there will eventually be about 14 or 15 bars and restaurants, mostly restaurants up there, and a little bit of retail. There's a hotel, there's a giant stadium. I think James Taylor played there. Bob Seger was supposed to play there, but
I heard
he
he's
got
seen
canceled.
both fire and rain.
James Taylor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he says at least.
Yes. That's true.
Believe him. Never
I
once
used to
believed
really love James Taylor.
it. You still do.
You're right. I do still love James
What
Taylor. You're
what's
right.
this used to?
But I used to love him a lot more. I used to
playing
listen
it-
to him a lot
You're
more.
playing it in your headset before you were getting amped up. For
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you,
Growlersations.
James Taylor has a really good Christmas song. I can't think of the name of it.
Sing it.
I don't know it. I'm not gonna
We'll
sing
wait.
it.
But mark it down.
You didn't tell me
He's
how
got
to
a good
sing.
Christmas song.
Yeah, you guys admit that.
We'll
Google
wait
it.
until you're ready to perform James Taylor's
I'm
Christmas.
gonna need to drink.
Christmas
We're gonna need to
Carol.
drink the second growler to do that.
So does Gwen Stefani and her boyfriend.
All I want,
Perfect
all I
Christmas
want
song.
for Christmas is you.
No, that's not Gwen's.
I like doing. I like doing
Mariah
when I do the
Carey.
karaoke. I like changing the words and the songs, and doing like a good gender bender. You know, mixing it up and change it up. I did Natalie and Bruglia Torn with you at Roundup on Cedar Springs.
I remember that.
One particularly rowdy Tuesday regular night here. It was a good time. We went up and I sang
It's been
some.
way too long since
I sang
I've
Natalie
been
and
to the
Bruglia.
roundup for karaoke.
If you've never been to, if you're looking for a rowdy Tuesday night, head up over to Roundup on Cedar Springs.
About 10:30 or 11.
Tuesday
Perfect.
night karaoke, and you can have yourself a good time.
You're really Christmassy.
Yeah, I just did Christmas with my family, my mom's side of the family. Went over to my grandpa's house over on San Benito Way, right around the street from you.
Oh, nice.
It's actually the same street. I think Drew is San
Yeah.
Benito as well,
he
over
is.
in the funky little Forest Hills. Different, not the same couple blocks or anything, but it was funny going over there and not being headed to one of y'all's houses, because that's usually what brings me over. But went over there and had a good time, and got to see some little siblings that I had, not siblings, cousins that I hadn't
Brothers
seen.
and sisters, you don't
I
know
have
about?
so many brothers and sisters. It wouldn't
do
be.
have a lot.
Yeah, I've got the triplets that are 21, and then I've got Win and Rainer that are mid 20s.
Rainer frequents the common table.
Yeah, her boo Rob is a good dude, and they're people
Let's
about
say
town.
frequents. They're here. I don't know.
They just
every
moved down
4
into
to 6
the,
weeks.
they just moved down to the Case building down in Deep Ellum.
No, well, that's not going to help. They're frequently.
It will help their frequenting of me, so
believe
it works
you,
out
it will.
just fine.
Well, that's a good trade then.
You're even tucked.
I am tucked. I don't know.
Wow.
It feels weird untucking with khakis on. I don't know. It just doesn't seem right.
Your shirt kind of reminds me of the plaid skirts that were frequently worn by the saucer girls. Is that intentional?
Yeah. I definitely.
same material.
I
The thing
wanted
you
to-
thought of
yep,
when you got that shirt?
This is actually made of Flying Saucer Girls skirts.
Wow.
Yeah, I had them stitch it together.
I can see, yeah,
The
the
seam,
patchwork right there.
the seams were done really well.
Somebody did a good job.
Or they don't wear that stuff anymore. That's what I heard.
Austin's closing down and DFW is opening up. Terminal D Flying Saucer on
Really?
the way. Yeah,
In the airport.
in the airport. I don't know exactly how all
What's
that works.
the, do you know yet the price of a pint of beer? And
No.
It's what? Terminal
No,
what?
I don't.
C?
Terminal D. It'll be
D,
in the,
the
it'll
nice
be in the
one.
fancy one.
The
yeah.
fancy one.
In the old international.
Maybe we should just go,
At DF Dizzle.
like, go to the airport and get drunk
You know, that'd be
at
fun.
the saucer.
Yeah.
Can you even get to the airport bars without a flight? Just
Yeah, there's some way you can do
There's
it.
got to be a way.
I'm just
bet
here to
she's
drink. I'm just here to.
Meyer knows how to do
I'm
it.
here to drink.
Sure.
We'll get
I
her
bet
to
she's
get us
on a
some.
watch list,
She
so
might be.
I don't think her credentials apply anymore. Oh, so last
Meet a
week.
guy here.
Sorry. Last week, can we tell the story of why she's in trouble, or should we not? Is that not a thing
I
that we
don't
should
think
talk
you
about?
can tell it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. See if.
Yeah.
I have no text saying we can't.
We have a friend that got in trouble for shotgunning a beer on the tarmac at DFW. I don't know how she got out onto the tarmac, but I think there was some official write-ups coming from whichever company she may or may not have been working for at the time.
She's no longer allowed to go sell beer there ever.
She's not
For her, the rest of her life.
No one
not
wants
allowed
beer
to
on tarmac
professionally.
anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
It's allowed to professionally enter DFW only as a passenger.
Yeah, you may only go as a passenger.
So
Pictures of her.
So last week we had Paxton. Paxton told me that he had some crazy plan that he was going to try to just talk about you the whole time, but you didn't answer his survey in time. So
Yeah, he sent me a
he
survey
wanted me to tell you to fuck off.
that was already answered. And he said, feel free to use my answers as suggestions. And one of them was like, what do you do in your free time? And the answer was, I like to watch anime and hentai. I was like, all right, I'm good with that one. And as I went through it, I was like, hey, I'd just like to use all your answers. So I don't think
To throw him off.
I think it threw him off. But later, someone else, the person that we're talking about on the tarmac,
Yeah.
did fill in the questionnaire and send it back, but it was after Growlersations. So
Unfortunately.
maybe that's,
Well, I didn't.
year 3.
I didn't know there was 12 of you shit dang mofos until last week.
There's 12 hats.
12 hats.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I
That's
think
what was confusing me. It's
7.
like-
7?
Eight.
8?
oh, so there's
Oh,
people
yeah,
with multiple hats, or there's like backup.
There
hats?
is.
Yes.
That's true. That's
One of
true.
them was burned,
Yes.
and then
Yes,
one
my
of them
job
floating.
was started
One of them we
before I
don't know
even
where
got
it
here.
is.
Probably
And
Armstrong.
2. Let's not talk about that.
Stephanie put her hat up for auction and got $1,000 to keep it.
Yeah, I bought it with Paxton and several other people.
I had a feeling that you guys were up to that positive
Oh,
cheer
you
spreading.
were blank, whatever his name was.
Huh?
You were pants.
Well,
Okay.
I'm the anti-shit dang, so it's my job to finish the burning of all the hats. You guys started it. There's one has been burned, and now
Well, that was a ceremonial thing that was kind of more of a sacrifice type deal.
and then
so-
you created your antithesis in said sacrifice, and poof, I was born. So
Yeah.
I'm here. To,
I'm
It
not-
wasn't like on purpose. We were just
I'm
in
not
a-
going to pretend
we were
like I approve of any of
We were
that
in a White
talk
House,
right
and there were some things being smoked.
I'm,
White House? Is that what you called it?
I'm Shannon Wynn, the second of my name, and I was born of the flame of that shit dang.
But you're already born. This doesn't make sense.
there? So I have
What-
a question.
Yeah.
Good.
What are you getting Harvey for Christmas? What does he want this
Wait,
year?
can I
Is
say one more thing
Yeah,
about
yeah
this?
but no, I want to come back to the Harvey Christmas
Okay.
still, okay?
I can't remember the exact story, but you and Tony were getting under the influence one day, and what was it that you
Doing
said?
Tony next week.
What was it that you said to him? He was like, "This isn't gonna end well," or something like that.
Oh, I looked at him and I told him that one day it was going to be me that killed him. Because like Highlander, there can only be one.
Right.
You know, and
There's more than that.
in order for me to take my rightful place as the keeper of the sword,
You're going to kill him next
I have
week?
to murder Tony. I've got some things going on. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get around to it, but I'm going to definitely have him on the show first.
You know, if you steal one, then you're in.
That's what I was going to say. Is you should not. If you're going to kill him, you should
bet
do
you'd
it
like
after the show, because then you would have to find another guest, or you wouldn't have much time
Yeah.
to do that.
That's true. The world is better with him in it rather than dead.
So our friend Tony Drury he used to be the beer peddler on social media. He recently changed to the beer paddler. Many consider him to be the chieftain of the Texas beer heroes. And Used to work for RAR out in Fort Worth, and back before all these new cool kids opened up their new breweries, and he's been around for a long time. And like Luke Skywalker, he has headed out into the world, and he's out in West Texas, out in Terlingua, doing his damn thing, starting the Terlingua Adventure Beer Company.
TABC.
The TABC is the now the Terlingua Adventure Beer Company. But he's going to be our guest next week, so as soon as I schedule that with Anton, we'll get it figured out, probably middle of the week. But it'll be a good time. It'll be a good show. That guy is a banjo playing weirdo. It'll be a shit dang full good time.
Well, I'm excited to see him. You just reminded me I was supposed to call him today, and the day's
Just go ahead and do it. Just go ahead and
call him. Well, he
Yeah, we should
had
get that function where we can hear the calls.
Yeah.
Can we get
Anton, can we add that functionality?
Can we get callers at some point?
Can we get to where we have the callers?
I mean, when like we get more than 10 viewers.
He's on YouTube. He's not paying any attention.
God damn it, Anton.
Anton, we're talking to you. He's not even looking. Anton's on Mark Rebier's YouTube channel right now. It's a good place to be, man.
Is there a delay?
He's gone down the rabbit hole.
There is a delay? So we don't say like super bad stuff?
No, I'm just basically in another dimension than you guys are.
Yeah, Mark Revellier dimension. We get it.
You're in the spirit world, asshole.
You say it like this. You say it. Revellier.
Well, it's French, Jeff.
That's what I'm saying it like in French.
Oh.
So Mark Rebier, who we mentioned last week, is kind of a cult favorite musician, performance artist, I
Of
guess.
the people at this table.
He was born of YouTube and has started doing some things. He's over at Twilight Lounge on Fridays, and Corey, you haven't booked him in January, right?
January 6th.
January
Mark Rebier
6th.
will be gracing the common table with his presence.
Mark your
Uptown
calendar.
or Frisco?
I know that I'll
Frisco's
be
not
here.
ready.
I think
Frisco's not ready for Mark.
is that a Tuesday or is it a weekend?
It's
or?
it's the 6th.
All right.
So,
Well,
y'all
heard
got
that.
calendars. It's January 6th.
Go check that out. I'm sure going to be here. It's going to be a good time. Mark is a fun time, and he feeds off the energy of his crowd. So go check him out. Friday, we'll see you at Twilight.
Yeah, I'll be there.
With the little happy hour
Performing
get
at
together.
Twilight?
Yeah, I'm going to do a
7
DJ
to-
set.
7 to 9:30, 7:30 to 9:30. He does something right around there. It's
Mark.
a good time to get the Friday night started.
That'd be sweet though if you did
So
it.
I went to see Mark last weekend on Friday night at Twilight, and then again Saturday at Quarter Bar. And I've seen him twice previously at Quarter Bar.
You're good. You don't have to
and,
worry about us. Feel free to walk on through.
And at what Festival I saw.
Yeah.
VIP.
And
VIP
so-
performance.
When I saw him at Quarter Bar, it was me and Steve Lindley and a bunch of Uptowny people. And I walked up to him and was like, hey, I think that this show officially makes me a creepy fan of yours. Like, I've been to like one too many shows in the past 3 weeks. So if you're out there, Mark, I love you. Like, really love you.
All right, we've got some growlers to get going. That's a lot of P-wing get in there. It's time to.
You
gotta-
need me to
you gotta-
crush my honey
You
lager?
got a growler with the
Hey, this
stations.
honey lager is good. I like it. I hadn't had it before.
Thanks. It is available
It's,
through Flood Distribution.
Are you trying to sell me one?
Double wide and single wide. Just put it on tap. Do you want to get your beer buyer out here so you can throw Cole under the bus, common table style?
Who?
Last week, when we confronted Paxton about why he's not carrying enough
Cole.
Brain Dead beer, he threw
No,
Cole
I
under
made
the
up
bus.
the excuse that we weren't bringing in a bunch of beer before the end of the year. That was
Oh,
my
of course.
excuse.
What?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
texted me that.
I know. I said
But you made up the excuse. That was an excuse.
The
For
walk-in's
real?
full
I'm
of
sucking
founders
them tomorrow.
The walk-in's full of
It's the
Founders
truth.
Breakfast Stout. I'm
you
busy.
have to pay tax on inventory at the end of the year, so you should have as little. This is a business tip, fellas.
One business tip.
You should have as little inventory as you can at the end of the year.
We should write that down. It's fire.
That's right.
Cheap beer at Brain Dead until the end of the year. So no, we actually just started. It's funny. This I don't want to call it a stupid blog or YouTube or podcast or whatever the hell this is, but our happy hour has kind of evolved out of this. We're doing Growler Hour. We do the $3 beers at Brain Dead from 11 to 4, and then 4 to 7 we do Growler Hour now. You can buy a growler of beer, no lid. You got to have a friend with you because I can't sell you just a growler. But you can split it with a buddy, get chips and queso or nachos for $20.
20 bucks?
$20.
For this size growler?
Yeah. Of
picture.
Honey Locker, P-Wing wouldn't go in it because anything that goes in the pint glass you can get, but $20 for 64 ounces of pintable house beer. It's export stout red, anything Honey Lager.
Nice.
That's a good deal. If we sold growlers, I'd steal that idea.
I'm glad you don't. Growlers are really great
not.
because they're in the way, and so it's not easy to just jump into the growler game. CO2 purges and all that. So you
guys sell growlers? No, we just use them as pitchers.
Hey, Matt Dixon.
I'm
getting your text.
we just drink. Oh yeah. We need to add the functionality.
Just telling you the bands.
He's trying to live. Yeah, he's like, hey,
adding the
can
bands
you
in
pitch something about
224. No, we need to add in the functionality of the iPad and the answering questions and things from the live thing. So if you're there chatting live with us, we'll get around to answering your questions at some point here in the next 24 hours. But we'll figure out how to add that functionality into the live aspect.
Yeah, I'm not.
And live calls, Anton.
Corey's never going to be on the show ever again. So it
And to
doesn't
be
really-
clear,
Let's get a
I'm
live
probably,
call.
if you ask
What do we have? This
questions,
is Corey.
I'm not going to answer
This
them.
is Corey here. Yeah, what's up, Corey?
Because I can't get on the page. It's Sam's page, right? So
Just watch out. This will all happen next week. So.
Oh,
I like
Anton's quick. Central Track really stepped up the game. Got the boom operation in full effect right here. Give us a little boom dip. Show us a little. Yeah, look at that. Oh yeah. There's that little-
Get in there. Oh,
There's
yeah.
that little
Whoa.
boom dip action right there.
Boom Dip. Isn't that a Drake song?
It's a technical term. Yeah, it is. It is.
I love Boom Dip.
Featuring Big Boy. Boom dip.
Yeah, big boy.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hey, so that's something else of yours. Untapped, you started and has evolved into Index Fest or back into Index Fest. Let's call Index Fest the phoenix that rose from the ashes of Untapped. Is that a fair way to put it? I don't know if that is that
put it however you'd
appropriate.
like to put it.
I just remember going to Index Fest with Jason Bush, and he got me in with the sponsor badge when Jizza was playing.
Oh,
and
in San Antonio.
Jizza, no, at Deep Ellum.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
Yeah, Jizza tried to toss me out of backstage because I went.
I was with you.
Yeah, I tried to give him a high five back before when he was going on stage, and he looked at security and he gave me the get him the fuck out of
I
here.
don't like high fives.
And sorry, Jason, I hope you're not watching
Sorry,
this.
Jizza.
But I have the sponsor badge, and the guy came to throw me out, and he goes, "You need to get out of here." And I'm like, "Why?" And he goes, "It comes from people higher than me." And I took my sponsor badge. I said, "Higher than Budweiser," and he goes, "No, sir. You have a good rest of your afternoon."
Thank you very much for coming. Jizza insisted on insisted on a strip club having a private room for him that was showing the MMA fight
Okay.
after he performed.
Yeah, fists and titties.
And
you know
what
the song.
what was interesting is there was no MMA fight on this particular Saturday night.
So you made one happen? You got some strippers to
that was
fight?
explained to him, and he was having no part of that conversation, and almost refused to perform because we couldn't find him a place to watch the MMA fight. And you're like, hey man, I can't. There's just not an MMA fight. I don't know what to tell you. So, but other than that, he was pretty awesome.
I've heard some weird stories from you about some of the musicians you've booked. One of my favorites being Cake, a personal favorite musician of mine. And you were talking about how they wouldn't be anywhere near generators. If you had drank your beer, I could top you off.
Is that the same beer?
Of course, that's his first
like
P-Wing.
It's Honey Lager.
No, he's moved on to P-Wing. So before Cake gave away the Meyer Lemon Tree, they said no.
They don't like
They
generators.
said no generators. What are some of the other musical requests you've had from some of your talent that you've been booking at?
I don't. Most of them are really friendly. I think the more interesting one for me was Elle King, and she was pretty new.
Oh, I got you. I'm sorry.
I think now she's probably 5 or 6 times as expensive as what we paid her back then. But her only request was a bottle of Jameson.
That's my girl.
That's it. That's all
Should have
she
just
wanted.
sent me.
and she drank the whole fucking thing by herself, and she was an absolute blast to hang out with.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she was a lot of fun. And the Flaming Lips were super cool. You got to intro the Flaming Lips.
That was one of the coolest things that ever happened in my whole life. My buddy Corey has this party called Untapped over in Fair Park every year. It's now called Index Fest, but they have evolved into each other. So be on the lookout for next Index Fest. This last year, Big Boy was the headliner. I had a blast. I worked my way up the front row. I got on Big Boy's Snapchat because I was all sweaty and fat up in the front row having a blast. But the year before, you guys partnered with Earth Day Texas, which is rebranded to Earth X now, but Earth Day Texas, and you wanted someone to talk about the involvement of Untapped and Earth Day, and all you guys were like, well, I'm not going to fucking stand on stage in front of 10,000 people.
That sounds terrible.
And
I don't even like this.
I remember you and Draper, you and Allison, came up to me and was like, hey, would you be willing to stand on stage with a microphone in front of 10,000 people? And I said, can I plug Brain Dead? And they're like, sure, you do whatever the hell you want.
Give a shit what you do.
And I got to introduce the Flaming Lips in front of 10,000 people on that.
did a good
backstage,
job,
I talked to Wayne beforehand and told him about seeing him in Telluride Blues and Brews and some of that, and it was like a really cool way to very casually brush shoulders with someone who I consider to be a really top-notch celebrity that I really give a fuck a lot about. So
It was cool that they let you roll out in that ball to do it.
oh, I wish. All right, we have passed 30 seconds, so unfortunately we got too chatty. I think the P-Wing slowed us down.
Thank you, guys.
Make it disappear.
I don't know if we can chug this.
What we got? Is that what you do? All right.
It's time to make it work. We can't go longer than 30 some odd minutes, so.
Wow.
Damn it, you were lying. We can go longer.
Hope I don't.
You see me? I'm gagging
Vomit.
on camera.
I've seen it before.
Well, I'm gonna need you to bail
I'm
me
not
out
gonna
there.
do that.
No, what? Come on, you got that. You want
So
me to-
this is the end of Growlersations. Our double IPA. That's not helping.
It's not your birthday.
Our double IPA really slowed me down here at the end.
Oh yeah, happy birthday,
But-
Sam.
My birthday was Tuesday. Thank you very much.
I didn't get you anything.
It's cool. You're gonna come to my party. My only present I want is your presence at my birthday party on Christmas. If you're
some
out there
presents.
and you're still listening, and you wanna give me the present of your presents, holler at me in the comments. I'll give you an invite to my Christmas party. It'll be a good time. We are done. This is Growlersations episode 8. Corey Pond, Jeff Ryman, Sam Wen, we're hanging out. Thanks once again to Central Track. And don't go out yet because this has to be done.
Bye, guys.
No, we're still here. Done.
Oh, now, bye, guys.
And we're out.